Good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Angela Cudger, and I am here with the co-founder of Connect Branding, Lavon Lewis. Now, tonight, we're going to be discussing all about how to brand your brilliance. In the wake of COVID-19, so many people have had the opportunity to have amazing ideas. And some people who already had great ideas are looking for ways to get those in front of people. Well, tonight, I have Lavon Lewis, and he is the man when it comes to branding. So, two things. Let us know that you can hear us. Let us know that you can see us in the comments. I see people are already jumping on. You know exactly what we do when we get on here. Share this out. Remember, this is not just a live stream. It is a live stream. So something said tonight will be used to change somebody's life or to change your own. So make sure you share this out. She says, hey, Dr. Cudger, so glad to be here with you. Yes, indeed. She says, my brother, Lavon, I can't wait. And we the strong sense greetings. So Lavon, now that people know a little bit about what we're going to be talking about tonight, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do? How in the world did you get involved into branding?
Well, I have one of those. I'll go back for you. So I'm the type of person that I've always been able to draw, right? So I'm a very artistic person since the time I was 5 or 6. And I just did that throughout my childhood. So the creative nature, the little bit I know, I was working on that muscle my entire childhood. And so when I went to college, I was rated the top 5 artists and percussionists in Alabama, which is where I'm from, when I graduated. And that enabled me to get a dual scholarship. At that time, I met my business partner, Sharad Shackelford. He's the co-founder of the company as well. And now, you're talking about 21 years. We've been in branding. Wow. We won 50 awards, 2,000 projects. We work with SeaWorld, Home Depot, a lot of startups and things of that nature. So it's given us a really good vantage point on branding and companies because we've seen pretty much every industry, every situation, and every scenario. And so it gives us, like I said, an interesting vantage point. So I'm excited to be with you tonight. But that's a little bit about me.
That's amazing. Now, these are companies that are vested. These are companies that are huge. These are companies that are absolutely amazing. So I think it speaks to your talent. It speaks to the time that you've been in the industry. It absolutely speaks to your artistic ability and your knowledge on the subject of branding. I'm excited to have you here tonight. And so let's talk a little bit about some of the things that people have been doing during COVID-19. Now, if they've been smart enough, they've taken the opportunity, many of them, to create something so that they don't have to go back to work. But in their creation, if they want to take this to the world, one of the things that I've always heard you say is how branding communicates our value. And a lot of people probably have created some very, very valuable things. But can we talk a little bit about how branding turns into a movement or how it becomes or walks out someone's purpose? Because if a person doesn't get their branding right, then people don't see the value in what they're trying to bring forth. They may not see that person's purpose or the big picture of what they're trying to do. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Again, branding is how you communicate your value. So I say it like this: when you go into any business, you're going into an industry, right? Every industry has thousands of competitors in it. And so when you're talking about that, what are you offering people, or what is your purpose in the world? Why were you created, right? Because we're learning during COVID that we're all connected, right? We all need each other, right? And so what I offer you, what you offer me, that's important. That's actually a lifeline, right? And so when you talk about that, you're talking about the ability to figure out what your purpose is, walk it down, and talking with so many people over the years, I found that a lot of people can't, out of their mouths, communicate what they do. They know what they want to do, but truly communicate. So I give an example. If you have a hair salon, for an example, right? You don't really sell hair. Most people can't communicate that I sell confidence, right? Yes. And so if you sell confidence, my job is to help you communicate confidence through hair, right? Yeah. And you're selling that feeling of when a woman gets up out of that chair, she looks in the mirror, how she feels is what you sell, right? And so, I approach it as if visually and through messaging, how do I help you communicate that so that you can attract all you can be and be who you can be and fulfill that purpose? And that's essentially what branding is.
And that's huge for messaging too. I think sometimes when people don't nail their branding, the messaging is off too. And so sometimes the buyer can't know if it's actually for them. How often do you see a mismatch between branding and messaging? Now, I know you work with some massive brands, right? But how often do you see there being a mismatch in really knowing what they sell? Because when people think about brand, they think their colors, their hex codes, their logo, right? They think of all these other elements that go into branding, but not necessarily the messaging. How often have you seen that mismatch in what you've been able to do?
Well, I'll tell you this. I've worked with more small companies and mid-market and startups than corporate, right? So, when you're talking about mismatch, if I had to give it a percentage, I would say 85 to 90% of the time.
Wow.
Even with the big companies, I'll see a slogan or a commercial and I'll know, just from being in marketing for so long, I'm like, I know what they're trying to say, but they're not saying it. I know people don't understand maybe the brilliance or the genius behind what they're trying to do. It's not fully, all the way there. And so, but it really does take a village. I mean, a focus group, really knowing who you are and what you do. There's a reason why a person goes and buys a Mercedes and looks at a Lexus and he chooses one, right? It's the person that best communicated the value. So Mercedes may communicate status, Lexus may communicate reliability within a luxury line. Who does that the best? And if you do that correctly, the person that wants that hears it and they buy, right? And that's what it's all about.
So the branding isn't just about the pieces, right? It's about communicating, just like you said. That's amazing. That is amazing. Rita says, wow, I love that. Hey, Marquita L, thank you for being with us tonight. Make sure you take the opportunity and you hit the share button, or you start a watch party. Somebody somewhere wants to watch this and be a part of what we're doing tonight. So make sure that you get it shared out so that others can get this value as well. Karundi says, wow, it is hard to communicate. Yes, a lot of people really get that wrong. I'm thinking about my brand now too. Like, am I really communicating the fact that I perfected something in the marketplace, right? I literally found like the holes in all these other schools and I plugged them up and made this perfect health coaching program. And so even though I didn't invent health coaching, I darn near perfected it, right? So people come from other schools and say, I didn't learn anything. I'm coming to your school now because this is the perfect spot, right?
That's how you know you got it right.
So yes, so that's a plus, right? This is.
I want to add something to that, Angela, because I'm looking at Mrs. Daniels' comment about it is hard to communicate. So let me dig deeper and help you out a little bit more, right? So communicate, don't think of it as just what comes out of your mouth, because we know most human communication is nonverbal, right? So think of it in the branding sense. In branding, if verbal was the logo and the website, what is the non-verbal? Which is, so example, let's look at Publix, a grocery store. Their slogan is where shopping is a pleasure, right? Now, when we come up with slogans and things of that nature, that is your, what I call positioning statement. That is your promise to the market. You're promising that it's going to be a pleasurable experience, which is why they don't have the cheapest prices and things of that nature, but they have the most loyal customers. So what's my point? How do they communicate that? Well, they communicate it by hiring the right people, right? Yeah. Training the people to treat people the right way, cleaning the store, the color palette, right? The commercials, and making sure the culmination of all of that is consistent, right? Yeah. And so we have to look at our individual businesses and to make sure that if we're communicating a certain message or a visual, that every part of what we do says the same thing, right? Absolutely. Or that's how you lose customers if you don't do that.
Or if they see one thing, like it looks luxurious, and then you actually get to the location and then it's not what you thought, right?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And small businesses are doing this all the time, right? So tonight, you guys, we're actually going to be doing some live brand audits. I'm so excited that Lavon is going to do this. And I want for you guys who are on here, if you want to get your brand audited, I'm telling you now, you can inbox me on Facebook and we'll give you the link to join us live for us to be able to audit your brand. If you are a little bit camera shy, you can also send us the link to your website. You'll have to send that straight to my inbox and we can actually pull it up here on screen and do a live brand audit with you. Okay. So Lavon, Rita says this is good information. So Lavon, let's dig a little bit deeper. How often have you seen when you sit down and talk to someone about their brand, what are some of the first things that people come to you for?
Well, the number one thing obviously is more revenue, right?
About the money.
I want to make more money, right?
About the conversion. Yes, it is.
And but there's a signs I remember, and I like to tell stories and try to paint pictures so people can get it. But there was a company that was doing SEO, and for people that don't know what SEO is, that's search engine optimization. Is strategies and ways for people to find you online, right? And so they had the traffic and it was working, but no one would buy, right? And so how do you have traffic and no one's buying? And they came to us, and we didn't have the responsibility of SEO that was done, but we changed around messaging, visuals, color, logo, things of that nature. And they literally told us that's the best money ever spent. We began making more money.
Wow.
Right? Because what happened? People actually went to the website and they believed that they are who they say they are, right? And that took a joint effort. And so you could have 25 years experience, which is what we get sometimes when people come out of corporate or a good job. They have 15, 20 years and they're brilliant and they're smart, but the brand doesn't look like it. So you can't charge like it. People don't believe it, right? And they just go somewhere else. But you can literally be 1 year old, right? And look 20 years old, and you get the effect, right? And so that's the power of branding. So a lot of people come to us because revenue. Some people are aware that I have something in my head and I can't get it out properly. I need help, or all of the above. It's all kind of reasons. Something's broken, or rebranding or repositioning. Maybe they started and they've grown, or they have different sides of the business now that they didn't have prior, and they need to rebrand. So there's always a lot of different reasons why people do it.
Wow, I love it. And all roads lead to the bank, right? I absolutely love that, because although we are here to really kind of walk out our purpose, I do believe in equal or greater exchange of value in the form of money, if that's what the person is desiring, right? I wholeheartedly believe in that. And I find that a lot of people, when they, and I love how you said, you can make a new brand, like a new baby, look like it's got some years on it, right? I absolutely love that, right?
I'll tell you this, I think our number one thing, because I mentioned a lot of big names at the top of the call, our number one skill is taking small companies and making them look larger than life. That's what we do.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing, because there are always smaller brands who think, and I've had this at my boot camps, my business boot camps. We teach metaphysical and physical principles about scaling a business, right? We don't have anybody covering branding yet, but so we'll definitely be reaching out to you for sure. Right. But at the same time, I find that when people speak about their brand, you're right, they lack confidence. And that lack of confidence shows in their pricing. And one of the first things I tell them is, you can't scale a business on $2 things. You have to be confident in unless you intend to sell a gazillion of those things, right? It's hard to scale a business on there are things that are highly valuable that they're way underpricing. And I think it has everything to do with not being able to communicate what it is they're really offering to a person and what it is they really sell. What do you find, or what have you found to be one of the biggest changes of a brand when they've come to you and they've worked with you?
I think you just tapped on it, actually. The number one thing is confidence. We've had situations where we would present a brand to a customer and they literally cry in the meeting. And they would tell you, I've heard a customer say, we're actually going to make money now, because they could see, they realized we saw what they couldn't see. And I know that the number one thing we sell is confidence, right? I know that's what we sell. We give people the confidence and we help them figure things out. So that confidence is number one thing. But I think the believability and the respect from customers, right? Because with branding, you can't always guarantee that you're going to make a certain dollar amount because you change visuals, right? But you can definitely make people believe, make that brand communicate clearer, eliminate what I call the white noise, which are when you get people to ask unnecessary questions, you have white noise, And so just cut right through. Some of the best do that. If you see any commercial, they cut right to the point. And I think as small businesses, we try to over define who we are too much. and we don't just get right to it. People want to read less.
Mm-hmm.
People go to a website, they don't want to read the website. They just want what they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you go to Amazon and you're looking for watches, you're just going to click watches.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to look at the company history or things of that nature. So when we build a lot of websites and things of that nature, we deal with a lot of messaging. The first thing we do is cut it down, make it more succinct, make it more potent, right? And we get to it. And that's very important.
I love that. I love that because people it's like they want people to take the scenic route when they go to their website, right? And people really are just like, how can you serve me? I came here for a reason and I don't want to get lost. And I've only got a little bit of time before my attention span is being drawn somewhere else. Let's run to the comments really, really quickly. Rita says, good information. Karundi says, I found it harder to brand myself. It was to brand my brick and mortar. This is a great topic, Angela Cudger. Thank you for being here tonight, Karundi. Marquita says, that's a word. You can be 1 year old and look 20 years old. Yes, you can. Wita says, LOL, this is true. Pricing. Yes, you cannot. It's a hard, you got to be like super famous to scale a business off of a $1, $2 product, right? Leslie says, Lavon created a logo for me for my friend's production company years ago. That's so awesome. Karimbi says, hashtag confidence. Leslie says, we still use it. It's still relevant and amazing. Testament. Look, so that's so awesome, right? And I can tell you, I know Leslie personally. She is on the money with specific things. Like, okay, this is missing, that's missing, right? Very, very amazing person. And then Karini says, over define. I love it. I love it. I love it. So you guys make sure. Go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to comment on Mrs. Daniels' last statement, though.
Okay.
Because she mentioned that it's harder to, that one, yes, it's harder to brand yourself than your brick and mortar, right? The reason being is for a couple of reasons. One, a lot of people, it's what you talk about a lot, about discovering who you are and yourself, right? That's the first thing. A lot of us don't know exactly what we want to offer the world. If you have a brick and mortar, if you sell phones, you know I sell phones. That's it, right? You just got to figure out how to sell phones. But yourself, if I own a cell phone company, I could be a motivational speaker for dads, right? For men that are married or something like that, that want to, own a business with a wife or something, or, it could be all kind of different things. It's multifaceted, right? You have to discover that's who you are. And then you have to be able to communicate all of those things with one message. That's why it's hard.
Got it. Especially people in kind of the health and wellness space, because they're like, I help everybody get well. I'm like, that's why you help nobody, right? That's why it's hard to help anybody, really. So I love that you're clearing this up for a lot of people. Listen, if you're just now joining us, we are here with Lavon Lewis, the co-founder of Connect Branding. Lavon has worked with some of the most prominent brands on the planet and co-runs a global branding company. So we will be doing live brand audits tonight. So the first people to inbox me or send me a message with either asking us to do a live audit with you tonight, will bring you on camera with us tonight, and I will get you the official link to join us here on screen. If you don't want to be seen and you're a little bit camera shy, no harm, no foul, you can drop your website link into my direct message on Facebook. So that means if you're watching us somewhere else, Periscope, YouTube, or somewhere else, got to get over to Facebook and make sure you drop the link into my inbox. Don't worry, I know how to check message requests as well. So even if we're not friends, I'll find you and we'll make sure we look for your link so that we can audit your stuff on screen with us tonight. So Lavon, really quickly, now that we know how you got started and all the amazing things that you do, Karundi says, thank you for clearing that up, right? I'm so glad that that's all cleared up. Make sure you guys share this out so that other people can actually get on this live stream. So now that we talked a little bit about this, and I know you got this amazing presentation for us tonight, but just being in the flow, I really want to ask you this question. How do you show someone who says, this is my brand, I've done it this way, haven't made a whole lot of revenue, but I know it's going to be big, but this is my baby, and I don't want to change certain things about it. When you see a brand, you're a percussionist, past percussionist, right? You probably still play something, right? I play several instruments, or I did, or I was in a marching band, all that stuff, right? I actually played the drum in the marching band, believe it or not. And so what do you say? I know you're a natural creative and you can look at a brand and say, boom, boom, boom. These are the things that I can see because you're always in the flow. So what do you say, or how do you approach someone who says, this is my baby, I want it to be a certain way, I don't want to change certain things, when you know that you see the brand being way bigger than they're allowing it to be?
So I'm going to say an answer you may not expect, right? And I think people are extremely intelligent, everyone, right? At whatever you do, things of that nature, instinctively intelligent. I think when people interact with my business partner and I, they feel authenticity, right? So if I disagree with something, I think they know it's the truth, right? Reason being is that I don't, and you'll find on this call tonight, I don't say anything without being able to back it up factually or from a psychological perspective. Example, if I tell you to switch from red to blue, just something simple, I have a psychological reason why that's happening, and I'm going to tell you. And most of the time when I tell you, it's problems that you've already had that you hadn't told me yet, and people feel that that's pretty authentic. So it's kind of like the psychic of branding in a way. So, but that's a gift that God has blessed us with. You know, we're able to really have a lot of foresight with very little information. And I think people feel the authenticity and they go with it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, I know you've got something amazing for the people. So if you want to share, we'll make sure that you get everything all queued up. So while he's grabbing things and because he's got something amazing he's going to share with you guys tonight, while he's grabbing that and pulling it up, I want us to, number one, make sure that you share this out if you haven't already yet. Start a live stream party or start a watch party so that someone else can get the content here. Okay. So really quickly, we're going to actually show this because I want you guys to get the information that will literally change your brand. For some of you guys, you may not be aware of some of the statistics around some of the largest brands out there, but remember the quote that success leaves clues, right? So we want to make sure that even if we're not looking at the big brands to be exactly like them, we understand that somewhere, somehow they started small, just like us, right? All right, Lavon.
That is correct. And so, and keep in mind at the end of this presentation, or near the end of it, I want to call some of you guys live. So get your cameras ready, get your outfits ready. We're going to come live and we're going to test you with some branding questions. So this presentation is called Make Them Buy. We talk about originality, influence, and performance. And when I say that, this is not a sales presentation, right? When it comes to branding and communicating your value, it's all about buy-in. So you're branding yourself to your employees, to potential customers, to current customers that you have. You're making them buy in to your idea, right? And that's all with the branding. So we're going to present it just a little bit more about us. We've done about 50 awards, Angela, as I mentioned before. What we focus on is mobile technology, web, social media, branding and consulting, strategic marketing, and app and software development. So we're a shop that you can come to and get the full gamut from strategy to visuals, to messaging, to social media. We do it all, and we like for everything to be holistic. We've spoken on over 500 stages across America, including Black Enterprise and a lot of other conferences that we've had the opportunity to speak at. And so that's been really great. And these are some of them: the White House, the Home Depot, Black Enterprise, just to name a few. And these are a few of our clients, as I mentioned earlier as well. All right, so I want to show a little bit of the work and then we'll dig into the teaching. So this is a piece of work that we've done for 7-Eleven. And again, every time branding occurs, you're solving a problem, right? And they wanted to solve the problem of a lot of people coming in the store, waiting in line. It just wasn't efficient. They wanted to improve customer service. So they thought about, what if certain items, people can pump gas and just buy those items in a vending fashion at the pump, or either they could buy them at the pump and come in the store and pick them up. And this was the solution to that. You also have a solution we did for AT&T as well, a website project that we did for a couple of years that was pretty great. Lotto, this is an example of a startup. We did this in 45 days, but when we did this, the company had not started yet. So I want you guys to really know the statement I made earlier about being in business 1 year looking 20, it can really happen. I think I went too fast there. This is the project for SeaWorld. So SeaWorld was dealing with an issue of, when you go to Orlando, the first thing we think about is Disney World, second is Universal, and third SeaWorld. So if you're in third place, how do you make people spend more money? And that's increasing the experience in the park, right? It's making it better. It's making people upsell and buy more, and that's what this project was about. Engine is a company in DC, IT firm. This is actually a startup as well, Ethnic Elegance. Again, you can be 1 year old and look 20. It's all about understanding your business and what you sell. And last but not least, this is a project for Walmart. We've all, especially these days, deal with the Instacarts and going to pick up your grocery in that system. So we came up with a solution here that involved the ability to order online and drive up and get your groceries. And here you are. And so let's deal with the first matter. The majority of the world underestimates the importance of design. So when I say that, another statement of companies that we've been talking about, and that's the fact that I believe good design is invisible. And when I say that, I said it earlier that we over communicate what we do sometimes. We should really be very simple in 2020 and 2021 and beyond, because when you walk in the Apple store, you don't think how awesome the design of the store is. It's just so good that you believe it, you buy, you purchase, right? When you walk into a mall or when you go on Amazon.com or a website, it's just so good that the design itself to you is invisible. You just flow in what they want you to flow and buy how they want you to buy. And even when you look at a Starbucks, for an example, I know these days we all miss Starbucks, but Starbucks knows that their position in the market is third place. You have work, home, and then Starbucks, right? And so branding is about understanding that, making sure you understand that message, making sure you know how to communicate that message and communicate that value. So we talk about visual perception. So 80% of what our brain does every day is visual perception. And we're going to talk a lot about that today as well, because when we look around the room, when we wake up, when we look at things, people are not aware that we see 5,000 images every single day. I repeat that, 5,000. So from the time you wake up, you take for granted a logo you may see on the back of a blue jean, a jacket, a billboard, the back of a car. You see logos, images, ads, commercials every day, 5,000. So if you're branding your company, how do you brand that company to the point where you stand out of that crowd? And it's, again, simplicity cuts through, being clear about what you do and who you are cuts through. So I'm going to test this out, Angela. I'm going to do the worst brands ever. And I want people to pay attention to this. This is what happens when you come out, you don't do focus groups, and you just assume, right? And you guys can comment on this now or a little later, but here's some of the worst brands ever. This is the first one. So this happens. I didn't do it, but this is what happens when you have a bad logo, spacing, fonts. These things are important. It says Megaflix. I don't know what everyone's thinking. It's Megaflix. So the second, satellite antenna that looks like Satan, right? You can get branding wrong. There's a cost to doing branding the wrong way, right? Because oftentimes we say, well, I spent so much on branding, or I had a branding person for 10 years, I'm good to go. But there's a cost in going the wrong direction and having to pay to come back the right direction, right? You have to remember that. Last but not least, junior jazz dance class. It's two dancers, but it's also something else. I won't get into it. I'll just see if it sinks in. And that's that. All right. So let's look at color in business. There's a company that we all know that spent $1 billion on the largest rebrand in their history. And normally if I would be on stage, I would have people kind of guess, but I just tell you what it is. That company is McDonald's. And so when you look at what they have, if you look at this image, it's what we know. It's the logo. People don't know that red in the restaurant industry stimulates hunger, right? So there's no accident that McDonald's, Hardee's, Pizza Hut, and I can go on and on, use red. It's psychology. Red and yellow together makes the brain increases the brain's appetite, and you want to eat more and faster, which is why a lot of fast food restaurants use that. Over time, they've converted to this color palette, a little more sophisticated, competing with the Starbucks coffee bar type model. And then here's the interior, right? So what did they spend $1 billion on? They didn't change the taste of the burger. They didn't change the Coca-Cola. They didn't change the fries. All that showed you was a change in color, right? That's all that showed you. Again, as I mentioned, 60 to 90% of buying decisions are based on color alone. So a decision like color can't be a personal decision. It can't be because you were in AKA, you like pink, right? It's about who am I trying to attract, who's spending the money, and what color communicates to their psyche in the way that it needs to communicate. And that's what that's about. Let's look at design and business. Let's take Tropicana for an example. We all know the Tropicana orange with the straw in it. It communicates being fresh and right off of the tree. But there was a redesign with this one, right? And so they felt the need to redesign it. Same flavor, nothing changed. Tropicana, just so you know, takes about 8 feet of shelf space. And oftentimes, as I mentioned, we don't read. So we're in the grocery store, people are on the phone, people are talking to their kids, and they just grab something. And you would be surprised to know that the first month that they released this, they normally make about $1 billion per year, 83 million per month. But the first month that they released the new design, it actually lost 20% in the first month, which is 16 million, right? Now, I didn't say they changed the flavor. They didn't change where it stood on the shelf. They just changed the look and feel. They just changed the design, right? Branding is really important. $16 million loss because of change in design. Why? Because people felt like this was the generic grocery store brand. They didn't think it was Tropicana. And I told you we don't read. Even though it says Tropicana, people didn't think it was Tropicana because of the way it looked, because of the way of the positioning. They were used to something and they wanted that piece. Let's talk about perception versus reality, because I made a statement someone gravitated to earlier, which when we talked about the 1 year being in business and making you look like 20 years, that's all about how you shape perception, right? And my business partner normally talks about this part. I'm going to dive into it a little bit. Then I want to call you guys in to help me out with the presentation, and then we'll go into the brand audit. But when you talk about perception versus reality, we're not talking about lying about what you do, right? Or think anything like that. We're just simply talking about understanding who you are, the perception you set, and living and walking in those shoes, right? And so when you look at this, for an example, I think we all know this is George Zimmerman, right? This is how he looked the night he got locked up. Look at his weight, look at his hair, look at his beard, look at his grooming, right? Look at the look in his eye. And then you have this guy, right? Same guy, a little heavier, clean shave, right? Look at his hair, no facial hair, things of that nature, right? And when you look at them side by side, same guy, about a year later, 2 different guys. The guy on the left went to trial, the guy on the right got locked up. What's the difference? His attorney understood perception versus reality. And little did they know, branding is how he won. Really, they branded him as a more positive, innocent looking person, right? And so carry this in the branding space, and you have to learn that that's what works. Even in branding, my business partner and I came up with this formula, P plus V, performance plus vehicle is how you win, right? And so when you talk about that, do you not think Coca-Cola has factories that burn up, or people they fire, right? Or trucks that are broken down on the side of the road? No, they have that, but they have to perform and make a good product. And the vehicle is the branding and the marketing to communicate who they are. They don't let you see the bad sides or anything like that. You have to manage the perception of who you are after you build it, which is directly correlated with everything that you have going. When you look at flight durations, this is pretty interesting. And if you guys were in person with me, I know you could relate to this. But have you ever got on a flight and they said, hey, the flight is 2 hours and it's going to arrive at 8 and it's going to land at 10. And then the flight leaves 30 minutes late and you still arrive early. How is that possible if there's a 2-hour flight, right? It's because the airlines understand perception versus reality. And so they know an hour and a half flight, let's just tell people 2 hours just in case we're late. And if we're late, we're going to be on time. But if we leave on time, we're going to be early, and we're managing what? Perception, right? So that's something that we have to do. So the next time you're on a flight, which could be some time from now, but the next time you're on a flight and you leave late and get there early, you're going to remember what I'm saying. And so we've all been watching the Michael Jordan, at least I have. I don't know about you guys, the Michael Jordan documentary, The Last Dance, one of the best documentaries I've seen in some time. And they talked a lot about in that documentary that Michael was going to go with Adidas at the time. He pretty much built Nike. He didn't want to go with Nike. His mother actually made him sign with Nike to be this image. And we talk about performance versus vehicle, right? Michael said even in the documentary that he wouldn't be who he is without his performance, his game, who he is on the court, right? So how you perform in business, your customer service, your sales, how you deal with problems. People don't think this is branding. This is branding. When something goes wrong, how do you handle it? How do you handle an irate customer or an employee? Things of that nature. How do you handle the look and feel and your visuals? Your performance and your vehicle together is the brand itself, right? And so it turns into, when you look at this shoe, you look at things like Air. Back in the day, Air was a new technology to Nike, and Michael Jordan could hang in the air for some time, right? Which is why they call him Michael Air Jordan. His secret was he can hang in the air longer than people, and by the time they're coming down, he's still up, and he dunks on them, right? And so Nike Air is what you have. So this shoe costs about $250 to $300. I would ask you, if you were in person, what do you think it costs to make this? And I would answer that question by saying $16, right? So this is the poster child for perception versus reality. And I'm going to get into what price actually is later, but that's how it works. Price is determined by how bad you can make someone want your product. And I know we might get this question tonight. Of course, you have your costs and things of that nature, but how bad do you want it? How bad do you want those Jordans, right? Is it to the tune of $200 extra? How bad do you want that iPhone? Is it to the tune of 70% profit margin, right? So how bad can you make someone want your product? That's branding, right? It's about messaging. It's about how it looks, how it feels, how you treat people, how you handle problems. It's the culmination of all of your efforts. We'll take this brand, Yves Saint Laurent. This purse is probably around $5,000. Dr. Angela probably has one of these purses, right? So she's going to kill me. So this purse is expensive. Who do you think owns this? Nestle Crunch. People wouldn't know, right? If I go to this brand, Ralph Lauren, nice suit easily a couple of $1,000s. Who do you think owns it? Nestle Crunch, right? All right, this one is not Nestle Crunch. L'Oreal. Who do you think owns it? Okay, I lied. It's Nestle Crunch, right? So what's my point? When you look at this next graph, you'll learn that about 10 to 12 companies own the entire world, right? Because they understand perception, they understand reality. Every business is a human psychology business. It's all about learning how people think, how to communicate with them, what your value is, and what your purpose is, and keeping that link of communication consistent. Let's take Beats by Dre. 70% market share. They made $1.5 billion in revenue a couple of years ago. Sold to Apple for $3 billion. Now, how do you have a product and you own 70% market share? They pretty much invented the industry, right? The headphones cost $100 to $500. I would ask you again, what does it cost to make these? That answer is $14, right? And anybody that comes on tonight or can relate, we've all had beats and you've had the beat fall off. You've had the sound quality go down, right? Why do they sell so much? Because of perception, right? It's who they're associated with. LeBron James, Dr. Dre, Jimmy Iovine, things of that nature. So it's all about, this is what perception can do for you. Time Magazine ranked these headphones 17 out of 18 on the market. They're the worst on the market, but the number one because of perception. That's branding, right? We can carry that in our own business. All right, this is the part where I want people to come on screen. I have a price versus expression quiz for you. And then we're going to wrap it up and answer some more questions. So, Dr. Angela, we can choose someone.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to join us on screen, you can actually send me an inbox message. Someone did send an inbox, but she wanted her website audited. But if someone else wants to join us on screen just for this part, this will be very, very beneficial to your brand. All right. And you can just send me an inbox on Facebook, right? Real quick, let's run to the comments. Cherie says, yes, The Last Dance. I haven't seen that yet, but I guess I got to check it out, right? Someone else says, wow, I love this so much. And someone else says, this is an amazing presentation. Thanks you guys for being here. So again, if you want to join us on screen to go through price versus expression, make sure you send me an inbox message.
So we'll give it a few minutes. If not, we'll continue. But this is a fun exercise with someone. We're going to pull someone out of the comments.
Okay, great. Maybe Hollywood Wesley or Sharice B. Thomas. How do we reach out to Lavon? You can, so Sonia Rodriguez, send me an inbox message and I will get you the link. If you're wanting to join us on screen. So let me know in the comments that you understand that. All right. If you're just talking about connecting with Lavon, he's going to share with you. Trust me, he's not going to leave without sharing with you how to get in touch, how to reach out to him. Trust me. All right. So if anyone wants to join us, make sure you shoot me an inbox message. Let's see here. I know Latoya Shelton. Latoya, I don't know if you're still watching. If you want to join us on screen, you can. She says, let's go. I have a brand and I'm down. All right. Hollywood Wesley, where are you watching us from? Make sure you send me an inbox message, okay? And I will get you the link ASAP and we'll get you on screen. All right.
Just so people know, you don't have to have a brand to come on screen. This is an exercise about brands we see every day. It's a fun exercise, so you can come on and have a good time.
All right. So Hollywood, go ahead and send us. I don't know if Hollywood's your real name, but go ahead and send me an inbox and I can get you the link. Otherwise, you won't be able to. She says she's in Mobile, Alabama. So can you please send me an inbox on Facebook? Wherever you're watching, go out and send me an inbox message. Actually, we have Latoya. Latoya wants to join us. So let's let Latoya on.
Let's do it.
Hey, Latoya Shelton. Hey, Goddess. Thanks for joining us.
Hello.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Latoya, are you afraid to come on?
I am, because I'm in Bermuda and it's almost 10 o'clock here. So I was just telling Angela that I'm in bed and looking a hot mess.
Okay. So this is fun. We thank you for coming on. So let me explain this little exercise, right? So the reason why people buy anything is for one or two reasons. It's for price or how they want to express themselves. The very shirt I have on, you have on, Dr. Angela has on, is how we want to express ourselves. What we live, what we drive is an expression, right? A choice of expression or a choice of price, what we want to pay for something. So I'm going to go through an exercise of a few brands you know. And I want to ask you, do you think this is a price choice or an expression choice? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. So let's just start with Apple. You know, Apple has a 70% profit margin, right? And I want you to think about this. So I have Apple everything, but you know, when you buy the $1,000 iPhone, it costs them $300 to make it, right? So you ask yourself, well, why don't they just charge $500 for it? Why don't they just charge $400, right? Why don't they just charge $600? Why don't they ever go on sale, right? With such a large profit margin. And it's because, you know, with price, you're setting a value, you're setting your position in the market. Apple knows that they're a lifestyle brand and they're at the top of that food chain. So a decision like dropping the iPhone to $450, it sets the brand differently in people's minds, right? It's lower in your mind. So they rather keep it high, lose to people that are not for them, and just keep their brand status. So with that being said, do you recognize these shoes?
I don't. I don't.
Okay. These are Giuseppe's, right?
Okay.
The shoes are probably $2,000 or $3,000.
Okay.
Is this a price purchase or an expression purchase?
Definitely an expression purchase, I think.
Right. You're correct. This will be an expression of someone's personality, right? We'll spend to express ourselves, right? And so that's how that works. Let's look at this phone. I know everybody has this phone, right? Is this
price?
It's definitely price, right?
Yeah.
Definitely price. Cisco routers. Do you know what this is?
Something to do with internet, right? Or
right, Cisco routers. So yeah, it's pretty much how big companies stay connected. So if you own the law firm and your customers come in and they know that you have Cisco routers, you think that's a price decision or an expression?
An expression decision.
Definitely. And I'll give you a little bit of game on this one. So when you look at the logo, do you know where the name and the logo comes from?
I can't say I do.
Okay, so Cisco is in Silicon Valley, right? Cisco is short for San Francisco.
Oh, true.
Right? And so they literally came up with the name on the way to getting the name registered and said, we don't know what to call it. Let's just call it Cisco. It's short for San Francisco, which if you look closely, the logo is internet connectivity antennas, but also the Golden Gate Bridge, if you look at it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool when logos have some depth to it, because I call it, it's a perceptive thing, right? Where if you have more depth than the visual side, meaning color, fonts, the general things, but if you have more depth, the human mind tends to remember your logo better. If there's some depth to it, right? Your subconscious consumes way more than you think. We understand what we don't think we understand, right? Mercedes, price or expression. I guess you can get to work in anything, right? You don't have to get Mercedes, right?
Yeah.
And so definitely expression. They're selling status, right? Their commercials don't even have words. It's oftentimes, and I get into the psychology of color because I mentioned a lot of restaurants use red because it stimulates hunger. But in this case, you've never seen a Mercedes commercial with a pink Mercedes in it, right? Or red Mercedes. They're often they're often gray, white, black, these different types of colors, right? Because it speaks to the affluent person that wants to buy it, right? It tells people, especially black and silver, black and gold, things are high quality. Now, when I say that, think of anything expensive, they probably use this color, right? Anything expensive probably uses it. And that's why. So this is an expression purpose. All right, wheat bread, price or expression? This is price? Yes. Are you sure?
I am sure because of the brand. It don't look like a...
What about this one?
That's expression.
She caught it. Exactly. It's expression because we want to say, I get my bread from Whole Foods, so I pay $2 more for it, right? And then that's positioning, that's branding, that's how they communicate it, right? But it's all bread, right? Yeah. You look at iPhone. Do you have an iPhone?
No, I do not, and I refuse to get one, and my children cap on me all the time.
You have a Samsung?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So did you know these two companies work together?
Now I do.
Yeah. Did you know that 13 billion or a large percentage of the revenue from Samsung is Apple because Samsung makes Apple parts inside of the iPhone? Right. Okay. But perception is a thing, right? So what happens is they let you know that if we create a rivalry between each other, and my business partner talks about this portion all the time, if they create a rivalry, we've eliminated everyone else. You really don't talk about any other phone. I mean, what happened to the Nokia? What happened to the BlackBerry, right? You get shot if you have a Nokia right now, right? Especially the flip phone I showed you earlier, right? It's because they're so good at working together, but letting you think they're not, but they are. Right? They need each other, right? And if they are rivals, they both survive, right? You don't think anything else exists. And then something we talked about earlier is what do we really sell, right? So I'll take you through this exercise because I have this McDonald's here because McDonald's really sells real estate. They have their real estate company. The franchise owners sell burgers. They sell real estate, right? And so sometimes you have a duality in your company. You look at a movie theater. I was at a movie theater one time, and I'm just a curious person. I asked the person behind the counter, I said, hey, how much do you make on movie tickets? Random thoughts in the middle of trying to sell a movie. And they mentioned we don't make anything. Just like a gas station rarely makes anything on gas, right? So it occurred to me that a movie theater is a restaurant, right? It's not a movie, it's a restaurant that shows movies. That's all it is, right? And so when you look at this, that's why the popcorn is $400 when you go, right? Because they need that to pay the bill. They're not making any money on the movie, right? And so when you look at this is what it ends up being. You buy popcorn, and my business partner talks about this part all the time. Movie theaters are restaurants that are relationship management centers, right? So if I'm going on a date with a lady, I don't want to sit at the counter and they tell me the popcorn is $400 and I say I can't afford it, right? You know, so it's about that relationship. So you have popcorn, you have the Coke, and you have the Sour Patches. How much do you think this costs?
All of that is probably like $24.
$579.
You're right.
One last exercise. Why do you think Waffle House doesn't have Wi-Fi?
I don't know.
Question.
I've never been to Waffle House.
Okay. No, so Waffle House is a very popular restaurant here in Atlanta, right?
Uh-huh.
You can get a whole meal for under $8, I promise. Open 24 hours. Very
movies.
It's cheaper than the movies. You can grab it and just go home and watch Netflix. It's a much cheaper night. But you know, they don't offer Wi-Fi. This goes, I've been saying the same thing the whole time about knowing what you sell. Waffle House understands that they're a fast food restaurant, even though you sit down. Going to Waffle House and getting up is the equivalent of sitting in a long drive-through, which is roughly 12 to 15 minutes, right? And so Waffle House knows their business to the point that they're more profitable when people stay 12 minutes or less, right? Which means if I offer Wi-Fi, you're gonna sit here for an hour and work. Which means I'm going to make less money, right? And so when you look at that, if you were to ever go in a Waffle House, you're gonna remember this moment. It's very cold, very small. They have hard seats, no cushions on the seats, no Wi-Fi.
No Wi-Fi.
You're gonna sit beside the cash register. Somebody may bump you as they're paying for their meal. Right? But they're really fast. You know, it's the only restaurant you go to and you order and they bring you the check at the same time, right? That's about knowing your business because most restaurants you go, they order, you know, ask you, do you want dessert? And you get your check at the end because they make money by you sitting there ordering more over time, ordering more wine, ordering more alcohol, desserts, things of that nature. Waffle House doesn't do that. They make money if you get up in less than 12 minutes. So we're going to order, cook fast, and give you your receipt in the front, right? That's funny, but that's knowing your business. You know, that's knowing if something to the tune of, if I put cushions on the seats, people are going to be more comfortable and they're going to stay and I'm going to lose money, right? So let's give them really good, quick food at odd hours of the night. They can't be comfortable because it's really cold, right? There's no cushions. And I just gave you this receipt, so you need to get up, right? And so that's what they're saying. So this is how it looks. Shout out to Waffle House. That's it. So Angela, that's my presentation. Anyone that wants to come on screen, ask me any question. Let's do audits. Let's have a good time and make it happen.
Awesome. So if you'll take the presentation down, we do have a fourth person that is going to join us. So hey, Hollywood. I've heard that one before. So we're going to do our brand audits here. Lavon, how do you want to do this? So Latoya asked for one first. So she's here, right? Latoya, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So she wants an audit of her website, and I can give you the web address. I think I sent it in private chat to you, Lavon. You should have it. So she's the first one, and you can share screen once you pull her up on your side. And then Hollywood, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Hollywood, I know Hollywood. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good to see you.
I told you I was going to be on.
You did. All right. So let me explain to everyone how the audit works, right? This is something we do in our live session. So the way the audit works is an educational tool. I'm brutally honest, right? But I think it's good because oftentimes our brand communicates things behind our back that we don't know. You know, we do marketing, we drop things off, you know, or we have a leave behind our website. We're not sure exactly what it's saying, right? And so my job now is to tell you in an instant, very quickly, what your brand could be saying to the market. And you can ask me anything. You can challenge me, ask me why, anything you want to do. Let's make it happen. So let me look at the first one. Whose website is this again?
Latoya Shelton.
Okay. All right. Give me about 30 seconds to take a look, and then I will share it.
Okay. While he's doing that, we're going to actually run through the comments really quickly. Someone says, this is wonderful information. Lots of notes when I get ready to launch my new health and wellness business. Someone says, most companies sell by advertising benefits and lifestyle versus the product itself, right? I think we can go back and answer that in a little bit, Lavon. And then they're just saying they don't have any Wi-Fi because they want you to order and get out, right? Order and get out. That is Waffle House. Okay.
All right. So let's do this. So let's bring this up on the screen.
All right. You share it.
And let's see here. All right. Can you see this?
I'm about to pull it right on up. Cool.
All right. So tell me a little bit more about the business.
So I am a yoga instructor, amongst many things. And I provide basically yoga practices, as well as I've done a mindfulness workbook that's in the schools here in Bermuda, and as well as a recipe book, Nature's Valley recipe book. So basically, this is just my platform to let people know what I'm doing. When people want to find out, what's going on, they can come here and get the information.
Okay. And so I see here, so you're big on educating people, right? Would that be, so I think when people come to your session, they get yoga and things of that nature, right? But you're very instrumental on teaching them the depths of why things are the way they are, what they do. Is that correct?
Are you a psychic? No,
I can see it. So this is the stuff you're communicating you might not know. This is a good thing. Like I can tell,
Yeah.
And I'll tell you how I'm drawing that. I'm just kind of scrolling. People can see me scrolling live, right? And so I think you want people to know that. So this is what you're selling. You're selling, serenity and peace of mind, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you want people to know that the environment and the place they're going to go to with you is safe. I see here it's for children and parents. We're going to get into that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you seem like a person that's very intentional. The details are important to you and you want to communicate that. Have you had struggles communicating all that you are in the past?
Of course. I think, as we get older, we kind of evolve and change, with time and age. So
right.
that my business is done the same.
Yeah, that's what I see here. It seems like a person with a lot of talent, a lot of skill, a lot of knowledge, but it seems like at times you might not know exactly how to get that out, right? Mm-hmm. And I can tell just by the way the information is displayed, the words you chose, the colors you chose, I can tell that. Now, the normal person can't articulate that. I've been doing marketing so long, I can articulate it, but this is what you have to know. People feel it, right? If they don't say it or articulate it, they feel it, right? And so you have a case where someone's talking to you, and if it's not a money issue, they say, yeah, let me think about it, and they don't come back. It's because subconscious that they feel that maybe they're not clear on something or things of that nature. So what I would say is I actually like your color palette. You have blue. Blue is a cool color. It's calming. It's tranquil. It's relaxing, right? And then you have a little bit of that gold and a lot of white. That's a good color palette. What I would do is focus on photography that focuses on the end benefit, right? When I say end benefit, kids, parents, things of that nature, people do yoga to get away, right? They do yoga to relax, get answers to things of that nature, right? Mm-hmm. And so it would be really cool to see visuals of the type of customers you serve, happy kids, happy couple or a happy guy performing better. Because that's what happens after using your service. People are lighter, they perform better, they make better decisions, they eat better, they're happier people to other people, right? Mm-hmm. And, I think you have a few lines of revenue. You have the actual service, you have events, and then you have your shop. I think you're hiding all of your lines of revenue, right? Mm-hmm. This right here is what we call a hero image right here. You're not using this real estate properly. We call that the top of the fold, right? You ever had a newspaper where you fold it in half? Mm-hmm. And the top of the fold is where the most important information is. So this is what we call the top of the scroll. I'm sorry. And so this piece of real estate is the most important part. Right here, I should see visuals of come to my next event, come to this yoga program, buy this book out of the shop. All of that should be right here front and center with the right messaging and the right call to action. So what I would say, this is a very good start. I like it, but I think you can polish up some of the visuals. You can polish up some of the messaging and then focus on the revenue generating items, putting that right in front of you.
Nice.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Did you enjoy that, Latoya?
Yes, I completely did. I love all of this.
Awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us. You can hang out if you want. Hollywood is next, and his link is to his Instagram page. Now, I use Instagram for lead generation, not necessarily sales. I like pulling people off of IG to go make money somewhere else with them. I don't know how everybody else uses the platform. So, but I'm interested to hear how to brand it.
All right, let's do it. So I'm looking at the page now, but as I'm looking, tell me what you're trying to do. How do you use it? What are you running into? Talk to me.
Okay, so basically, of course, I'm a live performer. That's that's I guess my bread and butter because that's what I get paid to do. So just also informing people about just live performance. So I guess other live performers, getting in front of them, networking with them. I'm always talking to people in my inbox, in my DMs about live performance and my opinions about different ones, and music altogether. But yeah, so that's really most of what I do with it. And one thing I want to, I guess, do with it is start partnering with different types of brands. But I don't even know how to do that, and I don't even know if they want a musician, you know what I'm saying, even associated with them. I don't know, it's kind of confusing, hair, skin, all of this type of stuff. I'm like, yo, I want to get into that, but I don't even know where to start, to be honest.
So I know what you're saying. What you're saying is you definitely want to go the traditional route, like an album or something like that. But you want to get into licensing your songs to different brands, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you wouldn't mind, reaching out to a Pepsi and say, hey, let me sing your theme song or something like that, right? So I think when you're talking about brand association, which is what you're talking about, I think it comes from, you're a personal brand. You're what I call a personality brand, right? So do you have a website or album cover, videos, things like that just yet? Okay.
Not just yet. Working on it.
Okay, cool. So let's do this. Let's go to the Instagram and I'll just show you what I see. All right. Can everyone see this?
Let's see.
Can everyone see?
Let me add it. Hang tight. All right. Yes. Now we have it.
Okay. So the first thing I would say with Instagram, the most important thing is your bio, right? And so I would be more descriptive right here. You see why I've highlighted that? And just tell people, when you get, and your website doesn't have to be elaborate. It can be one nice page. It can be a couple of pages, right? But whether it's SoundCloud, a website, or anything like that, tell people where to go to get the music. Give us a description of what type of music you make, right? And things of that nature. I would do that. And then show things like you working in the studio, performances, and things of that nature. What I do like about the page, if I look at it, is that with social media, I believe that 80 to 85% of it should not be selling yourself, right? It's just like if I had a book and I tell you every day, buy my book, buy my book, buy my book, buy my book. You would say, Lavon, get out of my face. I'm tired of you asking me to buy this book, right? So you want to know that, hey, what's his lifestyle like? Can I connect to the person? A person that I know that does his best is Marvin Sapp, right? Gospel singer. And he's very good at on the day-to-day. I've traveled here. I preached over there. This is what I ate for dinner. I'm working out. And then, hey, I have a Christmas album. Buy it. By the time he gets to the Christmas album, you feel some type of loyalty and connection because you know who he is. And so if I were you, I don't think you're doing a bad job here, but I think you need to get more descriptive in the bio. And I think you need to be more intentional about telling us where to find your music, how you make the music, what's your process, and what you're trying to do. And I think you'll find long term when you reach out to brands, when you actually try to connect with individuals, when they see your brand, they're a believer even more.
Awesome, 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 awesome. He says his Wi-Fi is a little bit squirrely because he's taking some time in the woods or in nature. If anyone else wants to jump on for a brand audit, let us know by inboxing me, and let me check because Hollywood sent a request. So let me check these request messages, make sure we're not missing anybody. Yeah, she says she's got corona hair. She can't do video, but can she do a logo? Lavon's impression. Yes.
Where to go? Tell us
what's the logo or the site?
I'm gonna leave the studio now. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And while she's doing that, people, you can reach me directly. I'm on Instagram at Lavon Lewis. If you want to email me, I'll respond directly. Lavon, that's Lavon, at brandingconnected.com. That's Lavon at brandingconnected.com. We'll talk about it again, but that's how you can reach me. And we can talk, and hopefully we can help you.
Okay. So
this is going to be a good one.
This is your logo. Okay. So I guess I'm looking at the inbox and I see your logo. I'm thinking that Lavon probably is going to want more information about what the business or the company is about. So okay, great. So she's got, hold on, what's the URL? Yeah, for your IG. Because I don't want to. Sonia, it's SONIA_ROD. Okay. So she said, never mind. She'll just come on camera. Yeah, that might be better. Okay, so you got two more, Lavon. How many do you want to do? Because somebody else just popped in as well. And he actually does marketing. Sonia, while you're getting ready, Clinton, you're watching. I'm going to invite Clinton McCoy, okay? And then Sonia, if you're going to jump on with, because I know Clinton usually stays ready. So I'm going to get Clinton McCoy on really, really quickly. And Clinton, let me get you the link so you can jump in with us. Because I know Clinton does a lot of live stream. So he's typically,
it's up to the people, we can go as long as we want.
Okay. All right. So both of you, Sonia Rodriguez and Clinton McCoy, you both have the link. So go ahead and click that link and go ahead and jump in and join us. And then that way you guys can share, because I don't want to just like share a piece of somebody's brand, because I think it's so important that that when we're doing this, that the right information, because people are watching and people are going to be watching this probably for years to come. And so they may see your brand. I want that brand to come across the right way. So I don't want to, I don't want to piece things up. You know what I mean, Lavon?
Right, exactly. It's the right way to do it.
Okay. In the meantime, while we're waiting on them to come on, if anyone has any questions in the comments, there was actually one question that someone asked and we didn't get a chance to get to it. She says, most companies sell by advertising benefits and lifestyles versus the product itself, right? Right.
That's true. I think that you should sell the benefits first and foremost. I say features and benefits. And so, men tend to respond to features. Women respond more to benefits, right? So, if you buy a phone, a man wants to know, there's a 5.6 inch screen camera, it's 6 megabytes, we care about things like that, while, the lifestyle element of it or the features, women really care about. So, yeah, I think the features and benefits are first and foremost, and the product will sell itself.
Okay, excellent. All right, so we have Clinton McCoy. Clinton, I'm not sure if you know Lavon, but you two should know each other.
You look familiar.
I'm actually on location right now. My son passed away this week, so I had to come out of town. Yeah, last Monday. My 25-year-old.
Like your blood son?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow.
We'll talk about that later.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah, Clinton, kind of just like.
Because I don't want anybody to be in a space that I'm not. You know, so so it is what it is, but I'm still in a good space. With no choices. That's just how I look at it, kind of. So nobody get out of. I don't want nobody sad.
Right. So we're gonna,
Yeah, I didn't even mean to say it. It just.
Thanks for sharing our condolences.
Yeah.
I think the world's in a space where everyone's kind of sending love and light to everyone. So if you were ever going to drop a bomb, this is a tribe to do it in. So many people will probably start sending you love and light in the comments. In the meantime, let's talk a little bit about your brand. Do you want me to give Lavon the website? I can grab it out of the chat.
Yes, you can give it to him.
Awesome. All right. So here is this one. And so we are waiting for Sonia Rodriguez to join us too. But in the meantime, Lavon, you have Clinton's site.
Okay. Oh, I see it here, Clinton McCoy. So let me take a look. You can actually, while I'm looking, tell me a little bit more about the site.
Oh, well, my site is kind of set up to be what I guess we would call more of a direct response website. I don't actually have a pop-up on it because it was having some problems in the mobile view where it didn't clearly give people the opportunity to exit out. So I think that might increase my bounce rate a little bit on it. So I kind of took that off as being, something that's pops, right out at it. It's really more, as you probably know, sites are static unless you drive traffic to them nowadays. So it's pretty kind of set up for that. Very minimalist on purpose, especially from a laptop view. I don't want people to have to make a whole lot of decisions. I don't need it to be hard for them to spend their money. And I just want to, I'm more the marketing part. So from a branding perspective, outside of mine, I wanted to just kind of get your take on it. So
okay, so I see a lot already. Let me share what I have going on here.
Okay.
All right. So can you see this?
Yep.
So this is a case, and again, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I just want to give the first initial impression so you can know what people are kind of thinking when they come to your site. But I think the website shows me very similar to the other young lady. I think you are talented in a lot of different areas. And I think that if you say that you had a headache, it would be a way to communicate that with one message, right? Because when I look at it and scroll the page, I was a little confused at what you did, right? But I see you have great reviews. People love you, right? And I think your best thing is that when people engage with you, I think you're probably authentic, very knowledgeable, very smart, dependable, right? I would think that's what people would say. But I think that how your services are communicated should be reversed, right? It's kind of like an iceberg effect, how there's a lot below the surface and a little on top of the water. You know what I mean? So in this case, all of that information that's below the water is on the surface. So it can be confusing, right? So I give an example. Are you just a flat out photographer? Is that what you do or not?
Nope, not at all. I don't even consider that. So what I say is I do branding and marketing. So I help entrepreneurs and small businesses amplify their brand and attract new and high paying customers using up-to-date marketing strategy, professional photography, and eye-catching videography. So basically I use the camera as a marketing tool, not a flat out, so I'm not just really just trying to take pictures and, do that.
Right.
But that's how I try to create my niche inside the my segmentation inside the marketing of marketing is that I can do more than offer you strategy. I can also help you collect the images, collect the video, build your ads. I don't say all of that on the surface, but that's what happens behind the scenes. Or at least that's not my intention to say all that on the surface.
So I think that's your only problem. I think you are saying it on the surface, right? I think you, in a couple of words, you're actually like a profit accelerator, right? You're that type of person. You deal with What's your problem? Who are you? Let me figure out a way to help you reach people and make money faster. Would you say that's correct or no?
I would say that, yes. More of, I don't try to get into too much the sales part, even though when it comes to probably the systems on the back end, I can do that, but I don't get into the sales part of it. So I'm more of the client attraction, establishing who you are so they know what you do, where to find them, and then how to turn them from leads to prospects to clients.
Right. And that's exactly what I meant. I didn't mean sales, but what you said is what I meant. You help people accelerate their profits and revenue, right?
Yeah.
And so I think what I see here and what's on the surface are the tools you use to do that. So I think when you're branding, you're leading with tools, right? For example, let me give you a clear example. That's just like Apple, instead of advertising the phone and its benefits, advertising maybe the factory that made the cameras in the phone, right? And so what you're doing, whether it is photography, video, strategy, things of that nature, I think you should probably reverse it, tuck some of that, and talk more about the benefit of when I get to the table, I help you with your marketing, branding, strategy, your systems. You're talking a little bit now, whether you know it or not, business automation, right? All of those things. And when those come together, and when you get my marketing and branding and business mind, you again accelerate your profits and your business, and you run smoother and you have a better quality of life, right? Because of that, right? Because you make more money and things are handled more in an automated sense when you have your systems and everything together. Does that sound right or no?
Well, that's what I do, but I don't see where I kind of have that up front. But that's why I asked, because we have our blind spots. We don't think we see, is there. So for me, when I'm looking at it, as I see branding and marketing, and he does he has a camera there. So I wonder if he does photography too.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, here's the problem.
And plus my site is also set up for that. I don't believe in the casual. I don't put a lot of stock in the casual person going by my website and finding it and liking me. So from my perspective, 90% of the people that's going to get there, I drove them there. They've watched me on social media. They potentially talked to me already. So when they get here, and I'm actually about to take this part about my book off. I'm really about to take that off and add 2 more marketing courses. I just haven't got to it because I think that's a little confusing, because it used to be a personal development, and I used to have them on them stupid flashy names, master life and content monetization strategist, that you're like, so what do you do?
You're like, I just
So, but I get it. So I'm about to actually take that off too.
Yeah.
But that's the message that I want to convey, that gives me the separation. Not can I just help you with marketing, even though we both know most people don't really know what that is.
Yeah.
They kind of think that marketing and branding and promotion and sales, they think that's all kind of the, or posting on social media. They think that that's marketing. But most of the people get here by me sending them there. And then I try to have simple as I can, minimal choices. So on this page, you got 2 choices.
Right.
On the photography page, or what I call the brand cam, you got 3 choices. Now, of course, underneath the surface, there's a lot, but
right, there's a lot going on. Yeah. And they can just book it right from here. Yeah. I mean, I think what you have is necessary. You have a lot going here. And so you're more personality too. You got a great photo shoot. You are a, speaker, you have product, and then you have the actual service itself. So I just really think the only issue is just how it's communicated. I think there's too much on the surface.
Yeah. I always say, hey, when I'm looking for a critique, I say be brutal. I get the attaboys and all that. You praise God. I don't need that. So you be brutal. Give it to me.
But no, that's what I'm doing. I am. I just think it's just too much on the surface, right?
Okay. So like, what part do you figure like is the too much? What
I think
if one was to be gone?
I think especially here. So there's a lot of messages at once, right? So you have get new customers, make more money, stand out from the crowd, right?
Market.
Say no more low paying clients, etc. Right? But this area should be your name and your logo, whether you know it or not. I know your logo is this your logo right here?
No, that's one of my groups I have. I don't really, my logo is my name. I really don't have I'm not really into the logo thing, colors and
Right.
I don't want to say past that for anyone that really values that.
Right.
But my logo is my name, I guess.
But yeah, I think this top area, the logo needs to be there. This logo here, or what have you, because it's like we all walk around. It's like your face, right? And it's important because people remember Nike from Reebok because of the face or the logo switch, right? And so I think that area should be clear, clean navigation. Because you have a message here, you have it get new customers, and you have no more low paying customers, and then there's we help your future clients out. We help you attract new customers. There's a lot that's been said all at once. You can really look at the entire message, realize the one thing we're trying to say, scale it back, and make people dig to get the information. Not too much. Dig and get it instead of telling them all at once. And then you have the photography image. You have to remember, people don't read, right? So they could just go here and say, "Oh, he's a photographer. I don't need a photographer," and leave. And not even read that you said right beside it that I help you make more money, right? Which is why we have to streamline it, be strategic about what photography goes where the logo is placed. But yeah, people don't read websites. They just go to where they want based on what attracts their eye. And so that's what I would say. I would venture out, logo, new color palette, restructure the website, and more concise content. And because I can tell you got some good stuff, but I think it could get lost because there's so much on the surface.
Okay. All right. So I'll change that picture. But I think about it because it's working. That doesn't mean that it's optimal. So I'll split test some different things and see what happens from it.
Okay. Sounds good.
No, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time.
Hey, thanks for coming on. We appreciate
you. All right. With us.
All right.
So we were waiting on Sonia Rodriguez. So Sonia, if you're still going to join us, let us know. Yep. How do I come on? Let's see here. We do not see you. It's pretty simple. You should just be able to click the link and join us. So we'll hang around for just a tiny bit longer, Sonia. Then we're gonna head out. So or Sonia, you can send me a URL to whatever site that has your logo on it. You can put that in the inbox because I know we've been kind of going back and forth with you getting the links and trying to get on. She says she sees herself on camera, but we don't see her here. We don't see you here. So in the meantime, Lavon, can we talk a little bit about what it would be like to actually work with you?
Yeah, we consider ourselves a CEO concierge service, right? And so people are amazed at how easy it is to work with us. People assume because of our clientele as well that there may be a high price tag, right? So our prices, we have a little bit for everyone. There could be a high price tag, there's a middle, there's a low. It just depends on what you want. But working with us is very easy. We meet weekly. We're very fast. Most brands that I showed you on the screen tonight were built in probably a month or less. Most of our clients see their brand in about 2 weeks or less. I have a very good team. We've been around 21 years. So I think working with us is really, in one word, efficient. Things move. They're creative. They're out of the box. We tend to see things people don't see. We bring the best out of people. And, we would love to work with anyone that's on tonight,
I love it. Let's see here. Okay, so Sonia, that's perfect. All right, so Sonia, where you are, you need to type your display name in. It's not going to let you in without typing your name. So when you type your display name in, you're going to see a bar that comes up that lets you join the live stream. So it's waiting on you to type your name in that thing that says display name, because I think what you sent me, the name is empty. So it's not going to admit you to the broadcast until you put a name that you want to show on screen. Hopefully that, yay, I heard the alert. So let's see if she can come on. Sonia, hey, gorgeous.
You reached us.
To show on screen. Hopefully that, yay, I heard it. All right. So I guess you can turn your phone down or the computer, wherever you're listening to my lovely voice at. You can turn that down or off. So what do you have for Lavon tonight?
Okay. Are you able to hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Okay, great. So I also sent a pic of my logo. I'm not familiar with this platform, so I don't know if you're able to just share just the logo.
Yep.
I'm like brand new, like 3 days in on IG, just because I'm following my daughter. So that is a blank page. And it's Sonia 2_Rod.
All right.
But that has nothing to do with my brand in general. So 2 business ventures I just started during this coronavirus was one in beauty, I won't name names, and the other in, I'm sorry, I should say skincare and makeup, and the other in jewelry. Okay. So when and if Miss Angela can share the logo, something that's very personal to me is my Scorpio constellation. And in my world, my view, it appears as a high heel, which represents beauty to me. So Lavon, I just want your take back. I mean, I'm totally fine with you cutting to the chase and saying it's not about you. People need to see it, understand it. And I know there's some tweaking, but when I saw this picture, it just resonated with me. And I have a good friend that's really well at doing logos. So I want her to tailor it to me, but I just wanted your first impressions.
Okay, let's take a look at it. Do we want to bring it up here?
Yep, I'm bringing it up now. All right, so let me see. Let me go. Let me pull it up from my desktop because I just screenshot it. So,
okay.
All right, excellent. All right, so let me try to close some other stuff out here.
And thank you. I'm so sorry to be complicated.
You're good. You're good. You are good. All right, so let me know that you guys can see this. Can you see it?
Loud and clear. I can see it.
Okay, great.
All right, so this is your logo?
It's not mine personally. I just saw the Scorpio constellation and thought, wow, that resonated with me. And it looks like a high heel, which represents beauty.
Okay.
That's just a high heel.
Yeah. So you're saying, are you a Scorpio?
Correct.
Okay, got it. All right. So what's the name of the company you started?
So I'm just self-employed through I'm not trying to give props to other people, but basically I sell Mary Kay, which is skincare and makeup. And then I just started selling touch tone crystals through Swarovski crystals. So it's all about beauty.
Okay. So it's a beauty company. Okay. So in that case, I'll just cut to it. First of all, I didn't realize it looked like a heel. It actually does, but I would not use it if I were you.
Okay.
Right? Because what happens is, again, I keep saying all night, people don't read. So if this was fully executed, people would just think you sold shoes and you sell neither one, right?
True.
Because we're not reading. They're just gonna think, oh, she sells shoes. I can just go to Macy's or wherever and get the shoe. Now you're competing with a big monster that you don't even want to compete with, right? I think if you're talking about the beauty industry, you should pick an indirect way, because in beauty, we see the similar things. You see, a logo that may be lipstick or hair or a silhouette of a woman or something like that. Do something that represents the mission, right? Or the vision at hand, right? So I'll give you an idea. We did branding for a company called House of Steel in Washington, D.C. And you could just do a house, right? But we chose to do an H that looked like a chair. You know how a chair has the arms on it that curl over?
Yes.
But it's an H. I could actually show it at some point if we had time, but it's an actual H. And what that H represent, of course, H for House of Steel, but it also represents the fact that people come sit in a chair to get counseling services. And also, if you're a new counselor, you can actually rent a suite or a chair to start your own counseling business, right? So, but it's so abstract that people wouldn't just say, oh, they sell furniture. That's not what they would say, right? And so oftentimes when it comes to logos, you should not be as direct as you want to be. And you said this as well, it's never a personal decision, even when it comes down to color or things of that nature. There should be personal meaning, but not a personal decision. So if I were you, I would go straight beauty, but in an unorthodox way that we don't expect, with some depth, if that makes sense. But
it does. Can I ask a follow-up question? So because I'm not a true, in my opinion, my definition of an entrepreneur is a creator, right? And I know many of those folks. So I am more of an independent contractor working under brands that already have, logos and things, except I work for 2 of those. So I was trying to find something that incorporated it? Same. If you're telling me same answer, I'm good with that too.
No, you're thinking correct, but make sure your thinking stays in this way, right? I would think of it as you are the brand, and these are tools you're using to promote that brand, right? Not the other way around. It's not like, oh, I do Mary Kay and I do this. It's like, no, you are you. Give that company a name, and within that, if I say, what do you offer? Well, I offer these beauty products. It's a Mary Kay line, but I also do this line, and then what does that do? It enables you to grow. Right? Because you can add a third beauty line, a fourth one, a fifth one, and a sixth one, if you think about it that way. If you think about it that I do Mary Kay or what have you, you can't grow. You just do that. And if they go out of business, you're done. Right? So, so you are the company, whether that's your name or you name it something, give it a look that's broad. This is why I don't want you to do a shoe. It has to be broad enough for growth. Right? It should just represent beauty and what beauty means to a person, which is at the end of the day, it's confidence and all those things, something that represents that. And then you can enable yourself to just grow and do different things. You can discontinue one thing and replace it. That's what you have to think about.
That is excellent advice. Thank you. Because I definitely wanted to go then into the wellness world. So you're right. I don't want to restrict myself. Excellent advice. Thank you so much. And thank you for your patience, Ms. Angela. I enjoy all your broadcasts.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you being here. All right. So we have one more person tonight. So Sonia, when you jump off, we will invite in the last person. I think her name is Nessie or Nessa.
Okay. And I will answer the question while you're doing that, if you don't mind. Someone asked for my contact information.
Yes. Okay. Bye, Sonia.
So you can reach me two ways. You can follow me on Instagram, Lavon Lewis, just my name, LAVON LEWIS. Or you can just email me directly. You know, we can end up talking tomorrow or what have you. It's Lavon, LAVON, at brandingconnected.com. Lavon at brandingconnected.com. And you can reach me directly and we'll talk from there.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we are waiting on our last person. She says she has a website. I'm going to go ahead and give it to you, Lavon, so you can go ahead and see it. Nessa Turner, if you're going to be coming on with us, go ahead and click the link and jump in there. And we'll go ahead and get you on with Lavon. In the meantime, Lavon, I'm going to shoot you her website so that you can actually start looking at it. And this has been so helpful for people tonight, right?
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been great.
Oh, you should give me a kickback. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Who knew, right? Let's.
All right. I'm pulling it up. Let me take a look.
Excellent. Yep, and you guys are so welcome. So Nessa, you're going to be the last one. Nessa Turner, you're going to be the last one for tonight. If you haven't already yet, make sure you share this out, you guys, so that other people can get this information. Even if they catch the last audit that we do, they can still get so much valuable information. And if this has been valuable to you, let us know in the comments, right? Because we know we got a lot of people watching and you guys will hang out with us like all night. So let us know that that this is valuable information to you, because it's important that we bring you just that. All righty.
So I'm ready when she's ready.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and actually pull it up. All right, so Nessa, if you're going to join us, now would be the time to do that. I'm going to check real quick in your inbox, and you're probably trying to jump on, but I'm just going to ask you real quick. Are you joining us? All right, so we'll know how to proceed. All right.
This is beautiful work, by the way, the work that she does.
Yeah, she says she's trying the StreamYard's not loading for her. We'll move ahead with it. If you keep trying and you jump on, I'll be glad to let you on. In the meantime, I got a request to load. Oh, I think she just jumped on. Hold on. So once her device is connected, it'll let her in. In the meantime, Lavon, what is your information again? I'm going to put it in the scrolling.
Sure. On Instagram, it's Lavon Lewis, just my name. Or you can just email me, lavon@brandingconnected.com.
Branding Connected.
.com.
All right, so we'll get that scrolling so people anyone jumping in can see it. So Vanessa, it looks like you need Vanessa, it looks like you need to connect your camera, type your name in the box, and it will let you get on here. So she says she's an artist, so she doesn't know if this applies to her. And I think this is amazing because you're an artist as well.
Listen, I get it. This was one where I would love for her to come on because I think I have a few questions. But
awesome. So connect your microphone and connect your camera. Looks like that's the only thing we're waiting on. And type your name in there. It looks like she fell off again. So, but yeah, her art looks amazing.
Yeah.
Art looks amazing. So in the comments, someone says, yes, this is very informative. I'm soaking up information so that I can work on my stuff. Now, remember, if you need Lavon, you got to reach out as well. Someone else says, this is amazing. I'm sorry that I missed it. I have to go back and watch the live. Yes, you can watch the live. Additionally, we'll be streaming this on IGTV. So for anyone who missed it, it'll be over there. And we'll be hosting it as a watch party early tomorrow morning for all those early risers. So just in case you missed it, or you want to catch a replay, or maybe there were some tips Lavon gave, or you need the contact information again, you'll be able to watch this again tomorrow morning. Pull out your pen and paper, go over your notes, and invite other people to that watch party so that they can get information as well.
And I would say anyone that reaches out to me over the next day or so, I'll do free personal brand audits for you.
Wow. That's a plus, right? And so Hollywood says, yes, this has been great. Glad the algorithms did it from. All right.
Finally.
Hi, beautiful. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So talk to me a little bit about your business pain points, struggles. Talk to me about it.
Okay, so similar to Clinton, I don't have a logo. I kind of brand underneath my name.
Okay.
So selling two things, a product and a service. So the product is the artwork. The service is creativity coaching, which is like life coaching, but for artists.
Okay. So the artwork, who is your customer? Is it organizations, people, or both?
Good question. I'm not fully sure.
The reason I say that, this is the type of artwork that I can see a hotel buying for their whole chain, right? In their lobby or the room and things of that nature. Or you can sell it to individuals. I saw your price points as well. You know, it's not a cheap price, and it's great work, by the way. This is the type of work I used to do when I used to draw a lot, so I can relate to it. But this work is good enough to go in hotels and things of that nature. If you're not thinking that, I think you need to be thinking two ways. One, sell to individuals as well as sell to organizations en masse. It's just like if you were to write a book, you can sell it to a person for $20, or you think about selling it to a bookstore and selling them 100 that they can sell their people, right?
Yeah, I'm not focused on organizations at all. I think I was pretty much looking at individuals. So that's definitely an avenue.
Yeah, because as you know, you can mass produce the prints, and you'll find yourself, you may have an order of, $40,000 to have them print a bunch of them up and ship them across America to put in their establishments. You never know. And I think the work is that good. You just have to begin to know organizations, develop those relationships to see what they like, and then begin to create things.
When you trying to find a market difficult, just in general.
Right. Yeah. I mean, some organizations, they like abstract art, or they like portraits like what you have here, or they like still life, like the actual, people don't know what still life is. It's the actual plant to the right, things like that. It just depends on what they want. I think you'll find that being a practitioner of going down that route, you'll learn a lot just by starting. Just start, right? You'll learn. But I think it's good enough to do that. I think one thing you're doing that you think is clear that I don't think is exactly clear, and that's your slogan, right? You say artist and creativity coach. And so I don't really, and I'm a creator, but I don't really know what creativity coach is. You know, is it you're teaching me how to draw or paint? Are you teaching me the creative lifestyle? If so, is that, you know, a computer world? Is it, you know, the lifestyle of how to be the most creative? What are we doing here?
Okay, so I primarily work with women artists, particularly those who work full-time in other industries and have not found fulfillment through their creative work.
Mm-hmm.
So I work with them to make art or whatever it is they do a bigger part of their life. So it can eventually go from a hobbyist level to a professional level and then lead to greater name recognition and sales.
Okay, so you create business models for female fine artists.
Yes.
Okay, so I think that you should communicate more like that, because you can tell someone that has a job or whatever they're doing that, hey, I can start with my passion on the side, and you can help me create a machine that enables me to sell it and either keep it on the side or take it full time. And so I think you should be more clear on that. You're pretty much making creative people business people.
I like how you put that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's what you're doing, but it doesn't say that. It's just artist and creativity coach. You leave. I said this early in the cast. That's a lot of white noise. There's a lot of questions you don't want people to ask. Like, what is a creativity coach? When they start asking questions, you're prolonging the sale. So when you look at your messaging all throughout the site, just focus on, I help creative women develop a business model to sell their art. That's what you do. In addition, we sell art to individuals and organizations. That's the business.
Okay.
Right?
So I put that slogan or something like that underneath of that description or in place of it, you're saying?
In play, I think it should be replaced.
Okay.
But this is a thing about, it's a business model question, right? Because I think when we're talking about a heavier subject here, we're talking about your business model. The first thing we did when you came on, I asked you, do you sell to organizations? That's a heavy load, you know. That's an entire shift, right?
Yeah.
Do you have to do it? No. But I think the art is good enough to do it. And I think if you did it and you were successful, you would thank yourself later, because as you know, you can produce one piece of art and sell it 500 times, you know, and make more money doing less, right? You know, and I think your work would be more widespread that way. In addition, that lends more credibility to the other side of the company, right? So creative coaching side of the company, if you can say, yeah, I've done art for so many years, because you're selling a couple of things. One, that the art is really good. Two, that your own business model is working. Not saying that it's not, but that it is, right? And so you can come to a woman and say, listen, I got my art in 100 W hotels across the country, and I made this much last year in personal sales. I think they'll listen and say, okay, how can I do that, right?
That makes sense. Yeah, they want to see that you've done it.
Right. So the more you perfect one side of the business, it feeds the other side, you know? And so that's why the messaging here is really important. The messaging can make you money or lose you money, because people can look right at it and they don't know what they're reading. You know, they think they're reading one thing, but you're talking about something else altogether. You're talking about an oxymoron in a way, making a creative person a business person, which is their weakness, which is what they need, right? You have to say that. You're not saying that.
Okay.
That's my 2 cents.
Oh, thank you. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, no problem. Reach out to me if you need me.
Will do. Thank you, guys.
No problem.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. So thank you so much, Vanessa, for being here with us. I'm going to go ahead and let you hop off. Have an amazing night. All right. So Lavon, we got to wrap up, right? We are at that space. All you guys, you already know how it goes. Start sending love and light to everyone in the comments. Remember, when we come into these kinds of places and get to share time, energy, space, a lot of you got a lot of insight from this, right? And so to seal in our time together, pick someone in the comments that you do not know and send them love and light, because now's the time where everybody absolutely needs it the most. If you want to reach out to Lavon, the rest of you who have inboxed me, for the sake of time, y'all, we got to jump off, right? so make sure, and some people have already said, I'm following him. If I can't get on, I will reach out to him anyway. So, you know, the live brand audits, please take advantage of that. And so make sure you guys get an opportunity to do that while you have that chance. Now's the time to do that, especially if you're thinking about your brand itself. All right. If someone says they're following you on IG, thank you so much. It was very, very valuable. Lavon, we got to have you back, right? Valine says this is definitely valuable. I wish I wouldn't have been on since the beginning, but wish I would have been on since the beginning, but I will watch the replay. Yes, definitely go back and watch the replay. All right. Very informative. I'm soaking everything up. Make sure you reach out to Lavon if you need him. Lavon, anything else you want to say before we hop off?
I just want to say, let's not overlook you. We appreciate you for this tribe, and thank you for the platform. I'm sure all the people on here are thankful as well, because you're providing different subject matters to people that really need it right now, provide inspiration. And I hope everybody likes the information. If you want to work with me, you know how to get in contact with me.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, you guys, have an amazing night. Bye.
See you.